London Uncovered. As we are moving on to a new episode, and today we are talking about Mother's Day, also known as Mothering Sunday. This has also been linked to Cybele, a Greek tradition, and Hilaria, a Roman festival. The first Mother's Day was celebrated in 1908. Anna Jarvis honored her mother Anne Jarvis with a Memorial Day. Mother's Day became a recognized holiday in 1914 in the United States. And here are some fascinating facts. It is celebrated in close to 50 countries. Approximately 122 million phone calls are made in the United States. In most countries and languages, the word for mother begins with M. The most common flower for Mother's Day is the carnation, pink and red for mothers who are alive, and white for those who have passed away. The amount of money spent on Mother's Day in the US itself is approximately $14 billion. The common gifts on Mother's Day include flowers, dinner or lunch in a restaurant, jewelry, gift cards, clothing, and treats such as a trip to a spa. Research has proven that there are actually health benefits to receiving flowers. In Bolivia, the date chosen for Mother's Day was based on the day women participated in a battle. Other countries have also chosen the date for Mother's Day to coincide with holidays that also celebrate women. No wonder it is rightly said, of all the special joys in life, the big ones and the small, a mother's love and tenderness is the greatest of them all. So let's go and see what people have to say about it. Good morning, Peter.
Morning, Sanjay. Morning, everybody.
Tell us, what does Mother's Day mean to you?
Well, practically it means going to see my mum, doing the cooking for once, going to see, going back to where I came from, wandering around the house where I grew up. But in a bigger sense, it's about being grateful, just grateful for this person who gave you life in the first place, for the person without whom you couldn't exist.
Why is it so important?
Well, I think it's really important for the person, because if you've hurt your mum or your carer, it doesn't matter who the person is. If you've hurt them, I think it's really important to make amends, to rebuild those bonds of family. I think it's also important because, especially men, right? I think a lot of men have a real problem with dependence. They fear dependence. They fear women because the women remind them of being dependent and being a child. And Mother's Day is a time to come back and experience, to be honest and say, I was dependent on you, I'm not dependent anymore, but I'm grateful. So it's a recognising your own dependence, and then also recognising that you've grown up and you come back of your own free will.
What message would you give to the world?
Be glad for your mum or your carer or whoever adopted you or whoever cared for you, whoever was that person in your life. Be glad for them. They looked after you. You don't maybe need them now, but maybe they need you.
Peter, thank you once again. It's been a pleasure.
God bless.
Good morning, Jamie.
Morning, Sanjay.
Tell us, what does Mother's Day mean to you?
Oh, Mother's Day is Well, actually, it's the derivation of it is Mothering Sunday, and believe it or not, it's not about our earthly mothers, our human mothers, our parents. It's about the Mother Church. It's celebrating how the Church is our mother and looks after us and nurtures us in our faith. Isn't that interesting?
Why is it so important?
Well, it's really important because actually the Church is just a wonderful blessing to the world. Well, hopefully so. And it's a place that we can all find freedom. Hopefully it's a place that we can all find love and, like I say, nurture and comfort as we go through a world that can be actually quite sad, quite dark, quite bleak. We need to know that love around us. But also, of course, it is a celebration of our mums, because everyone on this planet, whether they still have their mum living, whether they're in good relationship with their mum, they still had a mum. Otherwise they wouldn't be here. And so it's a chance to thank God for that person and to hopefully be able to tell them that we love them.
What message would you give to the world?
Love your mum. Tell her today that she's special, and also find a good church and be mothered by that.
Jamie, as always, a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sanjay.
Good morning, Alan.
Morning, Sanjay.
Tell us, what does Mother's Day mean to you?
Well, it's not just one day that we celebrate these glorious people. It's the whole 365. They are the very epicenter of our whole lives.
Why is it so important?
I remember my old grandmother. She lived in a time when the mother's role was to be in the house, had the dinner on the table when the husband came home from work and so on. Thankfully, those times are long gone. So it's just a celebration of mothers universally.
What message would you give to the world, Alan?
I would recite a short poem, and it goes something like this. It's: during all of our lifetimes, many friends and colleagues do come, but with all the bonds that we form, you only ever have one mum.
Alan, that was touching. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chris.
Morning again.
Tell us, what does Mother's Day mean to you?
Not much really. I've got a mum, love her deeply. But I see my mum as much as I can. You don't know when they're going to be gone. That's the thing. Never miss a call from your mum. Never take her for granted. She brought you into this world. Treat her with respect. Always give love to my mum as much as I possibly can.
So why is Mother's Day so important?
Well, it's just to celebrate your mum. That you don't realise sort of growing up how much and being a dad now, how much you do sort of sacrifice for your children. to give them what they want and what they need, and to get them through life. I'm here, got a good head on my shoulders. That's thanks to my mum and dad, basically.
What message would you give to the world?
Love your mum. You don't know when they're going to be gone. And when they're gone, you will be sad.
Chris, that was amazing. Thank
No
you.
worries.
Good afternoon, Brett.
Good afternoon.
Tell us, what does Mother's Day mean to you?
Showing them your mother that brought you into the world, that you care and that you appreciate everything she's done for you. Just even if you buy her a bunch of flowers, just showing you care and appreciate everything she's done for you over the years.
Why is it so important?
Well, Mother's Day. Sometimes mothers get overlooked, but it's always someone. It's always a good thing to remind Mother's Day that they're loved by somebody.
What message would you give to the world, Brett?
Stay safe, be good, and take care.
Thank you very much.
No
It's
problem.
been a pleasure. Thank you.
Take care.
Good morning, Tom.
Morning, Sandra.
Tell us, what does Mother's Day mean to you?
Mother's Day is, for me, it's a celebration of not just my mum, but mums across the world. You know, being a mum is probably one of the hardest jobs in the world, and that's not taken away the role that dads have. But you know, a mum, she gives birth to the child. She goes through the process leading up to the birth and has more of a connection with her children. And I think even if you don't have a great relationship with your parents or your mum, to set aside one day for your mum to appreciate, as a show of appreciation to her, whether it be a card, flowers, or just general sentiment, is something that everybody can do, and we should all celebrate it for the day that it is.
So why is it so important?
So it's a recognition, isn't it, for all mums across the world for the work that they do. And like I say, to have one day signify it, and I think different countries celebrate it on different days, but the sentiment's the same, is important because, like I say, the role that mums have in the economy, in our lives in general. I think they say that a mum is one of the best economists in the world because they have to sort out the budget for the whole family a lot of the time, and that's even with the kind of roles that dads have these days, the prominent roles that dads have these days in their children's lives. But in general, it's normally, in my experience, the mum who has the dominant role, and even that, if that is seen as the backseat role, because they may not be working.
What message would you give to the world, Tom?
On Mother's Day, give your mum a big hug, give her a kiss, and try to mend any bridges that have been burnt leading up to it. And just think that day is about your mum, in whatever way you can, help her to celebrate it.
Tom, as always, you're amazing. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
as we come to the end of this episode, and we've been talking about Happy Mother's Day. Yes, the word mother is the sweetest word on the lips of mankind. Mother, the first friend, the best friend, and forever friend. Mother, the most omnipotent, treasurable human being in everybody's reality. And I remember when I was in school, in my poetry class, when they asked me to write a poem, the first poem that I wrote was about my mother. And it said, Mother, you're my goddess. In this beautiful world, your love that cannot be described, your sacrifice that cannot be revised. You will love me even if I'll be a dacoit or a thief. Oh goddess mother that I should say, may God be with you every night and day. And all the happiness you gave me alone, I shall consider them as a loan. And all the loan I shall try to pay all my life with happiness and joy. And then in a singing class, we had a song about mother. And it still resonates in my heart. So for this Mother's Day, I would like to give this song for everyone. And it says, Mother of mine, you gave to me all of my life to do as I please. I would like to give you what you gave to me, Mother, sweet mother of mine. Mother of mine, when I was young, you showed me the right way things had to be done. Without your love, where would I be? Mother, sweet mother of mine. Mother, you gave me happiness, much more than the words can say. I thank the Lord that He may be with you every night and every day. Mother of mine, now I am grown and I can walk straight all on my own. I would like to give you what you gave to me, Mother, sweet mother of mine. So yes, wherever you are, whoever you are, this is the time to show your gratitude to your mother. Happy